Hi, I'm Deborah Brooks, and this lesson is about putting adverbial clauses inside of other adverbial clauses. We do that a lot in speech, and it's fine to do it in writing too. So let's look at how to do it. You write sentences with two adverb clauses, and then move one of them into the middle of the other one. So let's say we said she's making a cake because she wants to have it ready if her friends come over, right? Normal sentence. She's making a cake because she wants to have it ready if her friends come over. Now I can move that if her friends come over, I can move that right after the word because. She is making a cake because if her friends come over, she wants to have it ready. Now, when you do that, you'll have a period at the end of each of those sentences because those are each full sentences. And in the ordered one with the two separately in order, there are no commas. The adverbial clause is after the main clause, so there are no commas. But when you have one stuck in the middle of another, that's basically what you're doing, is you're sticking one clause into the middle of another. Then you have to have commas on both sides to show that this is an inserted comment. You can even hear it with the voice. We say she's making a cake because she wants to have it ready if her friends come over, right? Or she's making a cake because if her friends come over, she wants to have it ready. Did you hear the difference in my voice? Let's do another example with because and if again. That's one of the most common ones. In order, we would have, I don't always finish my work because the phone always rings if I sit down to concentrate. That's true. So if we want to move this if clause, we'll put it right after the word because. So it's in the middle of the because clause. We're going to move that word if, that if I sit down to concentrate, we want to move that right in after the word because. I don't always finish my work because if I sit down to concentrate, the phone always rings. Now, when I move it in the middle there, I need to put two commas. So you have commas on either side of that inserted clause and a period at the end. She will do all of the homework because if she doesn't, she won't pass, right? That's an inserted clause. We can put it at the end because she won't pass if she doesn't. She will do all of the homework because she won't pass if she doesn't. It's a fine sentence. So if you're confused, if you're doing something and you see a when, if, because, when, if, when, if you see those in your writing and it's confusing, just separate them. Move one of them to the end and it will be clearer. But it's absolutely fine to do it either way. Let's do a bunch of these. We're going to put the second clause in the middle. So number 2 here, if and when. We probably won't go to the party if our car won't start when we are ready to go. Let's move that when clause after the word if. We probably won't go to the party if, when we're ready to go, our car won't start. Now we need those commas to separate because you can hear the commas in my voice. We probably won't go to the party if, when we're ready to go, our car won't start, period. So you can do it either way. Number 3, when and if. She'll fly her kite in loops and circles when she can get it to fly high enough if the wind is right. Now we're going to put that if clause right after the conjunction when. And put our commas. And we have, she'll fly her kite in loops and circles when, if the wind is right, she can get it to fly high enough. Did you hear the commas? I do a pause with my voice when I put that inserted clause. Number 4, because and when. I bought a car because it often wouldn't start when I tried to start the old one. I bought a new car. It should be a new car. I bought a new car because it often wouldn't start when I tried to start the old one. Well, we're going to put that after the because, and this one actually works better this way. I bought a new car because when I tried to start the old one, it often wouldn't start. Now let me explain why that worked better that way, because we're going to do this in a few minutes. This it, you have it, and you have the old one is the it. When you're switching the clauses, you want to have the noun first and the pronoun second. I bought a new car because the old one often wouldn't start when I tried to start it, right? That works a lot better with the noun first and the pronoun second. Now when I move the when over here with the because, I need to switch these also. I bought a new car because when I tried to start the old one, it often wouldn't start. We want the noun first and the pronoun second. Number 5, if and because. We'll cancel the party if it will be too small because many are traveling. So we plan a party, everybody says, oh, I can't come. All right, we'll just cancel it and do it later. So we'll cancel the party if, because many are traveling, it will be too small. Now you can't put that period there. See, I pulled the period over with that clause. You can't do that. You really have to have commas because that's in the middle of a sentence, and put a new period at the end. We'll cancel the party if, because many are traveling, it will be too small. Because and so that. The birds eat spiders because they need spider webs so that they can build strong nests. We can move this whole thing between the because word and the clause that goes with the because word. We're putting this in the middle. The birds eat spiders because, so that they can build strong nests, they need spider webs. Although and whenever, let me move that up there, there we go. Although and whenever. You can do this with any two adverbs. Any two adverbs. The most common are if, when, and because. We use those a lot. But we can do this with any two adverb clauses. I really do want to go, although something always comes up whenever I start to plan it. That's really happens. What a pain. So I want to go. I really want to go. Although, whenever I start to plan it, something comes up. Although, comma, whenever I start to plan it, comma, something comes up, period. Even though and since. He bought a big car. Even though it won't fit in the same garage, since the old one was smaller. Okay, we have that same problem with the pronouns, the old one and it. When we move this second clause in front, it works a lot better. He bought a big car, even though, since the old one was smaller, it wouldn't fit in the same garage. We want the noun first and the comma, the pronoun, second. She gets ready early so that she can just get up and go when he comes to pick her up. She gets ready early. She's all ready. Anytime he shows up, she can go. She gets ready early so that she can just get up and go when he comes to pick her up. I can take this when, put it right after that so that, between the word so that and its clause, put commas on both sides, and a period at the end. She gets ready early so that when he comes to pick her up, she can just get up and go. So that and if. The students do all the homework so that they have it ready if the teacher asks for it. Good students. The students do all the homework so that if the teacher asks for it, they have it ready. Can you hear those commas? So that. It's like an aside, kind of, when it's put in the middle there. The students do all the homework so that if the teacher asks for it, they have it ready. I'll keep working in the garden until it gets too cold when the sun goes down. I'll keep working in the garden until, comma, when the sun goes down, comma, it gets too cold, period. Until and if. They won't visit me until I clean the kitchen, if I ever have time. So I'm putting that if here. They won't visit me until, if I ever have time, I clean the kitchen. That's, again, kind of an aside. They won't visit me until, if I ever have time, I clean the kitchen. It's not the main point. It's more of a commentary. And often when we put these inside each other, it is because it's a comment on the other clause. Until and because. We will play in the sand until we have to get on the road because there's a long drive. I can put that because right after the until, put in my commas, put a period at the end, and we will play in the sand until, because there's a long drive, we have to get on the road. It's actually better that way. Unless and because. She won't get a new car unless it has better mileage because she drives a long way. She won't get a new car unless, because she drives a long way, it has better mileage. That doesn't work quite as well because it's unclear which thing is because, but you can do it. Unless and when. They'll stay at our house unless we already have guests when they visit. They'll stay at our house unless, when they visit, we already have guests. Listen to the comma. They'll stay at our house unless, when they visit, we already have guests. When you put that clause inside the other clause, you need to make sure there are commas on both sides to show that one thing is inserted into another. Put a period at the end. And make sure if you have a noun and a pronoun that the noun is in whichever part is first. The noun comes first and the pronoun second. Practice and you can do it.